Hi, and welcome to the Boat Princess podcast. My name is Nicky Vaux, and I'm your host. I'm a boat owner, a marinas owner, an international conference presenter, and a huge advocate for boating. I'm sharing the stories from every nook of the boating industry with the intention of encouraging more women to join me and for more women to get behind the helm too. I want to share the experience and opportunities of boating, of the boating industry, and I want you to join me as I bring the conversations and answer all the questions you've had. Boating is not just for the glamorous and rich and famous. It's full of beautiful and interesting people making the most of our natural environment and getting out there enjoying the waterways. So let's let off the lines, take over the helm, and escape to the world of boating. Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Boat Princess podcast. I have a real treat for you today. We are talking to an incredible woman from an incredible business, all the way from France here in Sydney, and that is Madame Nathalie Vranken. Madame Nathalie, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very pleased. Yes, it's a very long journey, but it's a journey that you can make. No worries. It's a pleasure.
I love the little no worries in there.
Yes,
that's great.
It's so Australian. I loved it. I've never been able to use it anywhere else on earth. But here, no worries means everything.
That's brilliant. And we even got you out boating yesterday, didn't we?
No.
Oh, you didn't go boating yesterday?
No.
Okay. All right. No worries.
Yes. Yesterday was Sunday.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm so jet lagged. I don't remember. Don't tell me the day. Yes. We were boating yesterday.
Yes.
It was a beautiful sunny day in the harbour and in the bay. The bay is probably one of the most beautiful places on earth.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that because you're in front of me. It's because I've seen quite a few bays. And I will say that there is definitely for me, Sydney one and the Baie d'Along, the Along one in Vietnam.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So our beautiful friends took you out yesterday on their boat, which was very nice of them. So that's lovely.
Yes. Good captain.
Yeah.
It's important.
Good. Absolutely.
The boat,
it really is, isn't it?
The boat is very interesting and it's a good thing to see the boat, but the boat without the captain can't do anything.
No.
So it's important to have a good captain. I think it's something very related to everything in life. You need a good captain.
Absolutely. That's true. That's very true.
Yes.
Yeah. I was away in the Gold Coast for the weekend, so I arranged for my beautiful friend Stephen Lois to take Madame Vaux and Natalie out on their boat, which they very kindly did for us. So tell me, let's start with you right from the beginning. You were born in Paris.
Yes.
And educated where? Where did you do your education?
Oh, in Paris. I stayed in Paris for my entire first part of life, and I was educated in the University of La Sorbonne, which is quite famous because it's one of the oldest university on earth. And I was studying history and a part of history of art, and I had my graduate in a field which was very interesting because it was quite a long time ago, not so long, but quite a long time ago. And it was made on the contemporary American history.
Wonderful. Okay. So after you had graduated from that, when did you, because you are, of course, well, let's go through what you are, because I think for a lot of women out there, it's going to be very real for them when you just go through all of the different things you are in your business. Just give that to me.
You're on the list of the title which are possible.
Yes.
Yes, it's funny. It's true. So we are running a family business with my husband. And most of the time, I am, for everyone working for us, I am Madame. Madame means a lot of things. Madame is the head of the marketing, the head of the philanthropy, the head of the hospitality business, the head of the curating experience in the cellar and also the contemporary art. I'm also the head of international business and CEO of the company. I am the mother of the children, the grandmother of the great children. I am also the one looking at the menu. I am the one buying the furniture, buying the tablecloths and all the details. So it's a house, and it's definitely a house. And I'm Madame, the one which is acting in the house every day.
Yeah, it's so true, isn't it? As the madame of the business, we're
Yes.
so busy, and then we're so, I guess, as capable businesswomen, we get pulled into lots of different things all the time, don't we? We have to have many heads thinking about different things all the time. How do you at Champagne Pomoy, how do you kind of control that for you? Because it's a lot of mental load, right? So how do you compartmentalize, or how do you make sure you take a break to be with those grandchildren? Or are there any particular tips and structures for women that you think?
No, I don't know if it's a type of structure, but I think it's why we are so different, and that we goes very well together. So I'm not preaching for a world without men or without only women, certainly not. But what I'm saying is that we are much more, how do you say that, elastic, gymnastically prepared to do different things together. Men are more uneasy to go from a field to another.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And especially because regarding the raising of the children and the things, we don't even have to think about it. It's just natural. So everything which is natural goes well with what we have to do. And we don't have to think about that. And when you get in your home, you want your home to be pretty. A guy doesn't need to have a pretty home. He leaves his sneakers in the middle of the room, and he don't think that it's ugly or it can be any complication. He parks the cars in the middle of the alley. He don't think that it can destroy the entrance of the beautiful house that you settle. No, a guy is usually not taking care of the garden. We need to have our life seen and being perceptible to the others by little things. And that's what women do all the time. The way we look is also, some of those people wants to tell you that we want to be dressed or makeup or it is not to seduce anyone. It's just because it's the reflection of who we are. And if you are undressed or if you are not looking well, even if you go for sport on Sunday morning, you will look perfectly well, because this is what we want to have as a reflection for the other.
Yeah, because we're constantly our own brand, aren't we? We're bringing to the table us as a brand. And the way as you say, the way we look, the way we turn up every time we're even at a social event, is very important for us as businesswomen, because we are representing a brand all the time as well. So
yes, but it's not because we are representing.
Yeah.
It's because we want to be seen like this.
Yeah.
We are not wearing the suit of a brand. We are us, and we are acting for the brand. But it's because we are us that we can act for a brand. It's like the boat. The boat without the captain is just a boat. And a boat which is not getting out of the harbor is just a boat which doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
So we are not representing anything. We are us, and we are acting, and we want to fit with the brand. And more we will be competitive and good looking and interesting person, more the reflection that we'll bring to the brand will be important.
Yeah.
So it's definitely us who makes the brand and not the brand. But what it is true is that whatever anyone can tell you, the brand will survive us.
That's true.
Because the brand is not way related to us. We are the brand during that moment. So we have to do the best that we can to help her to continue to grow. But it will goes on without us.
That's so true. And that's a really good segue to start with. how Pommery actually came about, because it was actually in 1858, am I right, when Madame Pommery took over from her husband who died. Now, that's what I love about this brand in terms of relating it to the Boat Princess as well, because it's I mean, women didn't run businesses that long ago normally. So as a really strong woman came to the table and said, I want to do this and I want to do it a certain way, and created this incredible champagne. Tell me about the timeline of that, how that all happened.
I was not there. If you
cool.
think that I'm looking so old, thank you, I appreciate it, but I have to tell you the truth, I was not there. So I can talk about something that I can imagine and not have participated in. To come back to the situation of women in the mid-centuries, in the mid-19th centuries in France or in anywhere, woman has no rights.
Yeah.
And the only rights she had was through father and then husband. When I mean no rights, mean that she was not able to have money. Mean she was not able to buy anything. She was not able to take a role or a part. She was there. She was very involved in the family or in the social entertainment and things like that. They were very important. But what they don't have access to was money. Or to make business, you need to have money. So the only moment where a woman can have access to money was when she unfortunately lost her husband and then become a widow. And that's why I truly believe that she never get remarried, not because she didn't believe that it was the love of her life. Certainly it was the love of her life, but like I told you, I was not there, so I will not confirm that. But what is sure is that access to money brings her in another position. And then she had a partner in life, a partner associate, a partner for the building the company, for stay next to close. I think that I have an idea, which is maybe if I was born in the 20th century, not in the 18th century, and not in the 21st century, I really think that a balanced couple is the energy that we need to have to build things importantly.
I agree with you there. Yeah, because my husband and I are in the business together as well. It has its really challenging moments, but it also is an amazing and lovely thing to do, to be able to work with your partner in your business as well. And I did read somewhere that you mentioned that your husband is the president, and
yes.
that is that.
Yes, because there is only one captain.
Yes,
Can't have two captains.
Yes.
When you have two captains, the boat doesn't know where to go. The boat is lost, and the people which are working in the boat are lost too. So on that, I'm perfectly clear. I'm there, not from the beginning. He is the president. I'm working for him for years, and that doesn't have any effect on me.
No, and I'm the same. And I think it works really well. And I think that's how personally I think a marriage works well as well, because you need to understand each other's roles in different situations, and one person takes the leadership in each situation, you know?
Of course.
Yeah. And the other one lets them take that lead at that point.
And if we don't see that, then we don't know how we are good in these things and not in the other one. So it's good. Everyone has his field, everyone has his moment of fame, and everyone is happy. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely. So 1858, husband dies. With Madame Pommery.
Not mine, huh?
1868. No, not yours.
No, mine as well.
Yours is still wonderful, which is great.
Yes.
1868.
I think so too. I think so.
Oh, good. Isn't it nice to have a husband you think is wonderful? Aren't we lucky? We're very lucky.
But this is the key. You can't live your entire life with someone that you don't admire and respect and That doesn't mean that you don't have to fight for the color of the curtains or for the shape of the living room. Of course, you have to fight with a lot of things.
Of course.
But if you are not respectful, and if you don't have any admiration, or if you don't think that the way he thinks is very clever or interesting or things like that, I mean, you can spend your life with someone which is just cute.
That's so true. But yeah, respect is a massive thing in a relationship, isn't it? And as with business relationships as well. Got to respect each other.
But you don't sell anything to someone that you're not knowing, respecting, and in a way sharing the same value.
Yeah.
We have the clients which are very close from us because we have to share the same value. That's why it's the same. And you can see it because you are not wearing the same clothes than your friends. And you are exactly the same than your friends. Your look can be the same. We have the same body. We can be dressed by any kind of person, but we are not dressed by any kind of person. We are dressed by those we like to be in. Fits us, fits the same value. It's the same for your boat. It's the same for your champagne. It's a state of mind. It's your state of mind. So you can't wear something. I mean, like you're beautiful in navy blue today. Maybe if you have like a yellow flowers on your thing, you won't feel secure. You won't feel the same. So we are who we are through the value of what we are represented and helped for. Your pearls necklace give you something which is kind and sweet and smooth and elegant. If you have something with needles, that will be maybe more punk, but less interesting to share because that will not be our value together.
Yeah. Actually, these pearls are very valuable to me because they were my grandmother's.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And they're very cute and it suits you very well.
Thank you.
I'm very happy because I have some of my grandmother too. But today, no one's is strong enough to wear them. So when I see you wearing them, I'm proud. I'm proud of the legacy. I'm proud of the fact that you're proud of your grandmother. And that doesn't matter if it's not the most fashionable things because it's who you are.
Yeah.
And those values are wonderful. And this is what we have to share together. But we can't look all the same, fortunately.
Yeah.
Like we can't have the same pleasure of life in another things. And in the champagne state of mind, you have also to find the proper band which is able to carry your emotions and with who you want to share memories.
Yeah, that's lovely. So what is Pommery like that? What is the values of Pommery? What is the feel that Pommery you feel brings to clients that's different to other brands?
I would say that first is the incredible, as you say, idea, volunteer, and the audacious part of Madame Pommery, which is still make us work on the same way of all that new chain that she created for the Brut. If you believe that we are still working in this castle where she had the first Brut release. So we didn't change things. Of course, some technical issues have changed and we came from the oak barrel to the tank, the steel tank for the wines and little things like this have changed. But in the majority, we are still walking on the tracks. And that is very interesting because we then have what I will say valued, which are shared by most of the people who wants to find something true. And I think that she truly believes in her project. She truly believed that she can be successful creating a Brut. She wanted that to be very, very highly handmade, very turned on excellency. And she also wanted it to be able to be understood by people. That's why she opened the visit of the cellar. She let everyone get in to understand the know-how of the house. So I would say maybe we are not the most visible brand, but she was not a very visible woman also. So it's what we are. We are an incredible know-how share with the people who love champagne for more than 150 years now with that brut which keep us alive and will keep us with the idea of going on to conquer more things. So we are that. We are the blue one, the one that the bride should have to be happy. We are the blue one that could be that moment of blue sky. And we had all those, of course, a lot of women's value in terms of having people together.
Yeah. And the blue one on the boat too.
And the blue one, of course, it's the sea. Of course.
Goes so well together.
And most of the boats are blue painted.
Yeah. So it's your champagne looks fabulous on boats, I have to say. So that value that sort of infuses still. Oh, and let's just explain to the listeners what brut is so they can understand the difference between that and if you can explain that to them.
In Champagne, what we call brut is the blend of the wine of the year added with the reserve wine that we have, because we are not a tasting wine. When you want to taste a wine, is that because you want to make the difference between a soil, a wine grower, and then a year. Every year, the wine is different because every harvest brings you a different result on the wine. What is the incredible idea of the champagne is that with the blend of those different years and of the year and of the reserve wine, you have a constancy in the taste. What makes the champagne different is that if you like to drink a glass of Pommery, it's because you remember something that you have with Pommery. And what you want to find is not the taste in your glass. In the memory, it's the memory of that moment drinking that special glass of Pommery, rather on a dinner, on a first sight, on an incredible boat, on the first day on the first boat, on the first day on the 25th boat, whatever it is. It's the link in the difference emotion. It's not tasting, it's emotion. We are the joyful part of life. We are the sparkling part of life. And when you are happy, you want to share happiness with the people around you. That's why it's so easy on the boat. It's so fantastic. What is the best place to share an emotion and even to toast with the guy which is on his anchor a little bit far away? You can toast him because he is there also, and you can share that emotion. But it's on the boat that something incredible happened when it's a beautiful weather.
Yeah. Is that why you do? Because you do a lot of fantastic events here in Australia to promote your brand, and you partner with some amazing people for those events. So is that the kind of principle you're bringing to it? You're saying if this could be the first time somebody tastes Pommery and we therefore want it to be that incredible experience for them. Is that why a lot of your marketing is based on events?
Of course.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be too complicated for us to build it everywhere. In the world.
Yeah.
And to come to something which is totally dedicated to Pommery, which just me, can be a little bit boring, even for the most passionate people. So which is important? It's to find happy moments or beautiful new restaurants or incredible chef to share something together and to share emotions. So I'm sure that tonight we will share an incredible emotion, having a glass of champagne outside if it's still sunny, because Sculpture by the Sea, looking at the beach of Bondiai, it's just an incredible moment in your life. You can't say, I am not sensible to that. I mean, if you're not sensible to the fact of having art display, then you have the cliff and then you have the Bondi Beach. If you are not sensible to that, there is few things on earth that you will feel sensitive to. It's impossible.
Yeah.
So that's a link. That's a memory.
Yeah.
And then it goes to another place. It goes to something different. And yes, you're definitely right. It's something that we do.
Yeah, that's great. And Sculptures by the Sea is a fantastic thing to relate to because it's quite emotional, Sculptures by the Sea, because you can see the amount of work that those artists have put into those pieces, and then you put it into the incredible location that it's in as well. Then add a glass, and I love the way you say it rather than the way I say it, pommerie. Is that right? Did I get that better? Pommerie.
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 No,
see, that's so much better.
Yes, it's like a smile. You have to finish with the smile.
Yeah.
See, pommerie.
Yeah.
And then you're smiling. See, pommerie and you smile.
Love it. So good. Empire Marina Bobbin Head, welcome to Sydney's boating paradise. With our idyllic location on Sydney's North Shore, just 35 minutes drive from the CBD, we are all about where it's best to go boating and keeping it as easy and enjoyable as possible for you. We have a full hardstand facility on site, 200 berths, a beautiful bistro, and plenty of parking. If you'd like to know more about berthing your boat with Empire Marinas, call us on 02 9457 9011 or email Jordy, JORDY, at empiremarinas.com.au. We look forward to having you as part of the Empire family. So Pommerie has been very successful in Australia. I believe as Australians, we are some of the most avid drinkers of champagne in the world. We're the 6th largest importer of champagne by volume. We imported 10.5 million bottles in 2022. Now, given our population is only 26 million, that's an awful, and there's about, 5 to 6 glasses in a bottle? That's a lot of champagne.
I wouldn't make any comments on that. I would say that you have made of drinking a national sport.
Exactly.
Which is true and truly, totally unusual. But if you can allow me to say that, it's because you have also a different way of behave. You are able to make difference, and you are able to decide to work and then work hard.
Yes.
And then decided to entertain and entertain like hell.
Yeah.
You are able to do the same when you go back to Europe. And then you have people having a drink at 7 o'clock because it's the end of the day and you think that you deserve. They will have to find an excuse. They will say, no, it's because it's the opening. It's because of this. We are guilty. We are guilty all the time of everything. You are unguilty people. You entertain, you're happy to that. And you're happy to find your friends again into those social events, into those big events and the things. You are going out all the time. You are mostly never home. So I don't have a problem of delivery with you. I have a problem to be in the bright heavens where you are always, because you want to entertain and to have fun and to stay with your friend and to make experience. And you have that way of living, which is fantastic for me, because it's like the spirit of your country, which is not a country, which is very, very big, but you have that spirit. You are free people. You are the wild part of the world, but the wild part in the so good sense, the one which can still be built, where you can do something, where you're not afraid of acting on doing something, where having money is not an issue. It's you have money, it's because you have making it. So you are proud of it. So there is so many wonderful ways that, yes, you drink a lot, but what with so much fun. So let's go. Don't stop.
You know what? How many times have you been to Australia?
I came to Australia regularly every year for not a long time. It's usually a period of two weeks, something like that. And I'm doing that for the last at least 12 years, and I guess one or two before. So that will be my 14 of something like this journey in Australia.
Because you've really worked us out, haven't you?
Yes.
And I guess that's what you as Pommery, you really work out who your client is.
Yes.
And that is really important as a business, any business, to work out exactly who their client is and how, therefore, they connect with that client and how they make that client feel important, and therefore how you react or interact with an Australian client is different to how you interact with an English client, for example. Completely different,
yes,
right?
You are all from the Commonwealth,
yeah.
Especially this week where you have the king coming. I won't say anything, but yes, you are quite different.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, culturally we're very different.
Yes.
And we do, Australians work hard, but they play hard. They really play hard. And champagne is it's kind of a given. Yeah, and as you say, there's no guilt to it. It's, would you like a glass of champagne? Yes, I would. It's kind of part of what we do.
It's a good treat to yourself.
Yeah. And it does, the beautiful thing about champagne is it does bring a sparkle. It does bring a happiness moment, doesn't it? With it. Yeah. I love it.
It is. Yeah. That's why, if I can say so, the worst moment in your life is when the champagne is not as good as you were expecting. And then remember how sorry, desperate you were, because that was not what was expected. So it's very important, and that's where the brand is so important, because if you keep on going with the brand, then the moment where you're going to be disappointed are less coming than if you don't know and you just pick this or this, and then your taste will be different, and then you can be sometimes disappointed, which is, for the champagne, the worst enemy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Disappointment.
Yeah. And I think we all have our go-tos, don't we? I was talking to my girlfriend this morning on the phone, and I said I was going to interview you today, and she said, "Oh, that's become our go-to." So you are the champagne that they will always pick now.
Fantastic.
Because champagne's like that. You taste it and you say, "Oh, I like that," and you kind of stick to it because you don't want that disappointment. Right?
And you want to, once again, find your emotions back. So for that, if you are it's very close from perfume. It's very personal. You have to share it with people to be happy to drink it. But champagne is, as your perfume, very personal. You can't pick the one of another. The other will it's like traces, it's like perfume, it's like everything who is deeply linked to who you are.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if it's not the same brand that you like than the other, because it's you.
Yeah.
And this is something that you can't, how do you say that? You can't change.
Yeah.
You are you. You can't make any compromise on that.
Yeah. Which is why, I'll gift Pommery, Pommery.
Yes.
I'll gift Pommery because I know that we always gift what we like, don't we?
Yes, of course.
So that we know that the person you give it to is going to like it as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Yeah.
And that person will also see in your gift the care that you have about her.
So good. So have you seen a change in, COVID was a moment in time, and we all enjoyed a lot of socialization prior to COVID. Have you seen a change in, I've seen a change in the number of social events and that people tend to make the effort to do and to have. Have you seen that people are, I'm a big advocate for quality over quantity. So I would much rather have a very nice glass of a very nice champagne instead of having 10 glasses of a very ordinary champagne. Do you think that's happened in social moments as well. Do you think we've changed our behaviour since?
We have been given away of everything for a very long moment.
Yeah.
3 months for you in the island, more than that.
Oh, so long.
It has been very difficult, and I've seen that with Ingo. It was very hard. You had a very long time, and we have been given away of everything, and that was so impossible to imagine
Yeah.
that we couldn't realize what we really have. Then you have seen two different ways of reacting. You had those who said that was the best moment of my life. I was home with my children. The weather was beautiful. We had no troubles. We can bring people home from the family. I was not worried. My mother was not so far. And it was, in fact, transformed from nightmare to an happy moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had, in the contrario, the rest of the people who was not able to face, to be stuck alone with family or not, to do things. So we have changed. We definitely have changed. It's true. But I will say that we don't want to lose anything anymore. So it's not question of quantity versus quality. It's the question that why would you need to drink 10 glasses of something which is not as good as you want, rather than having one of something which is good and which is what you want. So yes, we don't want to lose anything. We don't want to lose. It's a little bit like if we were all entering in our additional time. You know, when you go to the game, there is the additional time. You don't know what additional time will means, because when they said, the speaker says, no, we get into the additional time. It's not for that team or for the other one. It's for everyone. And we don't know exactly what's going to happen during that time. So I think that we are in our additional time. Yes, we have all realized that everything can change, that we can lose everything, that we can lose the beloved one, that we don't know how to cure. When we don't know, we were so afraid, and that we become so aware that everything can happen. Then in that additional time that we have, things have to be different.
Yeah. That's a really interesting way of looking at it. That we're kind of making it the most of more of life because of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That we're actually
So you
making moments more special because of it.
Because you don't know if you're happy or unhappy, but you have to deal with it. And it's very interesting.
Yeah. That's great. So I had a look at your website, and the building that you are located in Riem, is that how I pronounce it correctly, is absolutely incredible. So that was a major project for Madame Pommery in 1868, wasn't it? And now you have this one stairwell that goes down into the chalk pits they converted?
Yes.
And so I'm guessing it's all cellars down there, and it's
18 kilometers.
18 kilometers.
Yes.
And it's like 30 meters.
Yes.
30 meters underground, isn't it?
98 degrees humidity.
Yeah.
10 degrees of temperature constantly.
So it's almost a super yacht length depth down.
Yes, it's an underground world.
Yeah. That's just amazing. So, and I know you conduct tours there and so on, don't you? So how far from Paris is it?
It's 145 kilometers. It's 45 minutes of speed train.
Oh, we love your speed trains. We wish we had your speed trains.
But you see that there is still some Australian who doesn't want to take the speed train and who takes Uber to go to Paris. Yes.
Really? I love the
Yes.
speed trains.
The speed train is perfect. 45
Yeah.
minutes. Don't give you a chance of finishing to just have a look or a coffee and it's over.
Yeah.
No, it's very nice.
Yeah. Well, in fact, my husband and I were discussing this morning that because we went from Brisbane to Sydney last night on a plane. We said if there was a speed train that did this, we'd be there in 3 hours and we wouldn't.
It's an hour and a half. It's an hour?
It's an hour and a bit. I reckon we'd do it in 3 or 4 hours on a speed train.
It's an hour of flying?
Yeah.
Or an hour and a half?
Yeah, about an hour.
An hour.
Yeah.
Can be done in 4 hours, something like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we enjoyed your trains in France this year, going from the Congress at La Rochelle, and we went over to Carcassonne and amazing. And we said, if there was trains that did that in Australia, my goodness, that would be absolutely amazing. Okay, so it's 45 minutes from Paris on the train.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about the space to give our listeners a kind of vision of what Pondory is.
A vision would be very difficult. I prefer that every kind person which is listening to us Googled me. It's much more quicker than to have any kind of description. So please don't be afraid. Google me. Pommery, pommery.fr. Pommery. You will see everything. So just keep in mind, when you look at the picture on your phone or on your computer, when you will have Google Me, just keep in mind that she built all of this not with the money of her success. She built that with all the strengths and the vision of that her brut will be successful. So she built it before the launch of the product. So she built the castle, painted all in blue, open the visit of the seller to the people, dig 18 kilometers to have 110 chuck pits linked to each other with galleries. She made such an incredible work. And at that point, she was the only one to open the house, and she don't even know if her brut will be successful or not.
Wow. That is true entrepreneurship, isn't it?
It is. It is. No, it is. It is a true, crazy moment of her life. But this is what an entrepreneur is. Now, a lot of people come to ask me, what is the recipe for becoming an entrepreneur? There is no recipe. No. One day, you wake up and you think that this idea can work. And then for the rest of your life, you're working hard every day to see if that idea that you had can work. But you can't buy an idea. You can't dream of another one's dream. An entrepreneur is a dreamer. An entrepreneur is the one who can think that he can achieve to do something, whatever happens. It's a dreamer. Whatever the field is, computer, software, food, kitchen, whatever, it's a dreamer.
That's so true.
And the dream is not allowed to everyone.
Yeah.
And you can't just start to find the reason why you are going to dream. That's why I'm against all those scholarships around entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You can't learn to be an entrepreneur. No, you can't.
No, it has to be in your blood, doesn't it? It has to be this. You have to have this slight. It's almost a tiny bit of madness in terms of you are so driven and you so believe in something that you won't let anything get in your way to make it happen.
Is bigger than you.
Yeah.
And you can't stop it.
Yes.
And you are running after your dream, whatever you are doing. Then for the rest of the life, since the first day that you say, I'm going to work for that dream, then that dream will stay your captain for the rest of your life, and you will have to follow it, and you will have to understand why it's working, why it's not working, where that it's better, when that is not better, what happens there and here, are the people happy, whatever your dream is stronger than you. And sometimes, which is very sad, is when you see that it sometimes they failed, but they failed not because They were not dreamers. They felt because at one moment or another, they didn't take care enough of their dream. A dream needs to have doctors, creative people, legal people, everyone around him. A dream is a very fragile thing. A dream needs to be surrounded by people who have an incredible knowledge and who are strong enough to carry him as a little miracle. A dream is difficult, very difficult to keep it every day.
Mm. Oh, wonderful, wonderful moments on this podcast. Thank you so much, Natalie. It's so good.
Pleasure.
With unlimited boating, access to thousands of boats worldwide, and everything taken care of, our members enjoy boating without the hassle. That's freedom. Freedom Boat Club, North Sydney and Hunter. Call 02 9457 2000 or email us at curious@freedomboatclub.com. So now I know I learned a new word when I was researching you. Oenology. I didn't even know that word existed.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that is a beautiful word for people who are making wine.
Yeah.
So enologist is a diploma. Enologist is the diploma of the person which is able to make wine. So I am not an enologist, and I'm working with a winemaker, head of cellar, which is a fantastic guy called Clément Pierlot. You can also Google him or follow him on Instagram. You will see, you will learn a lot of wonderful things. He is on Instagram. I'm not. And that's good because it brings that way of looking at the work of the wine. But we can, even if I am not, we can work together because I would say that I'm part of the client and he is part of the know-how. And we belongs and we need to work together because without my part, which is the part of the lady having a glass of champagne anywhere, I need to give them this feeling for that it provides me what I truly want. What I can't drink is something I can't sell.
That's so true, right? I mean, I'm the same with boats. If I see a boat I don't really like, I will not do a video of it and do a review of it because I can't bring truth to it. I can't say I really like this or I really like that or da 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 because it's not me. So I can't do that. And same thing with I'm not a boat builder, but I'm the person that uses the boat. So I can bring this isn't in the right place and that doesn't work very well. And when I turn around and do this, I hit my head. So you got to change that and all those sorts of things. I think it's really important that we bring that as, like you say, as the client, we bring that feel of what it needs to be, how it needs to be, what it needs to result for clients. So that's a really good way of putting it. And so if somebody listening to this podcast is thinking, it sounds like it's fun working in the wine industry, would you?
Fun.
Yeah, fun.
But is
it not fun? Is it like boating? It looks more glamorous from the outside.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just going back to the dream.
Yeah.
The dream is artwork.
Yeah.
There is nothing which is fun in your life. It's certainly I'm not in the oil industry and I'm not in the spirit industry. In the spirit industry, I will not have been able to talk with you today. I would have been dying for years. So because you can't drink vodka or anything like this. And but a dream, it's always linked with hard work.
Yeah.
And of course, it's joyful. Of course, I'm going out. But it's also a lot of frustration because, let's see, I'm working with the best restaurant in the world. But how many lunch do you have in a year? 365. How many dinner do you have in a week? Only 5 or 6 or 7. But if you want to take a day, then you go back to 6 dinner in a week. And how many clients do you have in just one city? If you are a brand which is important enough, more than that. So then the people are looking at you and say, where are you staying in that hotel? Why are you not coming to me? Why are you eating here and not there? Why are you doing this and not that? So in fact, it's very difficult. So look, you want to say something? I'm traveling here for 14 days. I'm changing the hotels every night
Every night.
to be able to enjoy most of the people we can.
Wow.
But is that difficult? Yes.
Yeah.
Is that difficult to pack every day to be somewhere else, to have another view? And yes. So, and then you jet lag, you're going out, you wake up late, you go bed late, you wake up very early because of the jet lag, and then you have pulling your suitcase the entire day. So yes, my job is fantastic. I'm selling emotion. I'm selling joyful. I'm selling a state of mind. But next to that, I'm a hard worker.
Oh, of course. Of course. But how would they get into this industry? What's the best way of doing that, you think? Is
I
it
don't
by
know.
starting?
I don't know. Here in your country, I've been to Yarra Valley. What a beautiful place. It's beautiful. That valley is beautiful. You can start vineyard here, but you can start everything. But then you have to have the luck, because producing is something, selling is another thing. It's like on a boat. You have a beautiful boat design, okay? But then you can't sell only one. You need to sell at least 10 or 12 of them. So you will have to export. You will have to find other clients. You will have to build distributions, ways of having your boat sold. So this is not one way. It's if you don't have any connection, it's very difficult. And if you want to start in, alors it's better to start young, because it's going to be a long journey.
Fair enough. I've never really thought about that in terms of you're obviously dealing with many, many clients, and they all want you to think of them as your most important client. Well,
Of course.
clients do that in every business, don't they?
Of course.
Yeah. Every client in our marina would like to be the most important.
Of course,
client in
but
the
if you
marina.
are not dedicated to them, why are they going to be faithful to you?
Yeah.
So everyone is the most important client that you have. That's why you can't say never no to anything. And I will definitely not, because they are all very important. But then it's just a question of time. And some moments are you can't please everyone. So that's why when you do events, you can have them coming, and then you can have more people coming and attending, and then they can see what you do with your brand. They can be happy. You can talk to them. You can, there is a lot of things you can do, but keep in mind that the wine business is not only one part of what you see. It's like an iceberg. You come and you will come to Sculpture by the Sea, maybe tonight with us. That would be fantastic. As we said, we're going to have a view, the ocean, fantastic. But next to that, I have the land, I have the vineyard, I have people working in the vineyard. I am producing millions of bottles, and those millions of bottles are made, and then I have to sell those millions bottles everywhere. Because next year I will produce again millions of bottles.
Yeah.
It's a never-ending story.
Yeah.
Every year you produce, and then you need to extend. And if you take something which is totally different and happening in any kind of other business than mine, I am considered as a luxury product, which is true. If you look as a bottle of Cuvée Louise, which is the most prestige cuvée we can make, only 3 Grand Cru, beautiful things, extraordinary, cost 200 something, I don't know exactly here, $280, something like that. So it's a luxury product. Next to that, you have your watch, beautiful watch, very things, expensive watch, truly. But when you bought, or when your husband bought you that expensive watch, he thought that it was not so hard because you're going to wear it for the rest of your life.
So true.
And maybe you're going to give it back to one of your daughter when she will be 20 or 30 or for the birth of her children, as you have the legacy of the pearl of your grandmother. So the pearl was a very important investment at the time your grandfather bought the pearls. And today they're still living because pearls are dying if you're not wearing them. So they're still living with you. And it's fantastic. But me, when you will have drink your glass of champagne Cuvée Louise, do you really think that you're going to drink less quicker than any kind of other champagne? No. No, you will drink it as the same pleasure and it will not stay longer. So all my work, it's to bring you to understand everything we have done to keep the bottle aging in our cellar. So a bottle of Louise now released in Australian market is 205. 19 years that I'm carrying them, expecting that someone is going to buy one once. So, and then you will be with your friends and a bottle of Louise. If you are four, will go be just one glass and a little something. So that is where the brand has to be elevated enough to be understand as a luxury product. If not, it doesn't fit.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. That is so good. So can we just educate our listeners on Grand Cru?
Mm-hmm.
Just tell them what that is compared to anything else.
In the Champagne area, it's 319 village, which is a very small region of France where you have 30,000 hectares producing champagne as champagne from France, not champagne as anything you don't know into your cocktail. This is the only real champagne is from France. And in that area, there is 319 village. Only few of them have the appellation Grand Cru, which means that their grapes are the most exclusive grapes we can have on the market. So when we have few Grand Cru, 70, and Louise is only made of 3 of them, 2 of Chardonnay and 1 of Pinot, which is Hailly. The 2 others are Avis and Cramont.
Nice.
You want a little something that nobody really realized?
Yeah.
We are making white wine with red grapes. 75% of the vineyard of Champagne is planted with Pinot Noir and Pinot Meunier, which are red grapes, and we only produce white wine. That's why we had to create a very delicate crushing process for that the tannin, which is in the skin of the grapes, doesn't touch at any moment the juice. So we are a little bit of very crazy people making white wine with most of red grapes.
But that's quite a process then. Very refined.
And the Chardonnay is only 25% of the area. So when you have a Blanc de Blanc, which is exclusively 100% Chardonnay, you drink la crème de la crème, the best that we can provide.
Yeah. Wonderful. So you're going to have an event with clients this evening at where are we going to? Somewhere in one wonderful park near Bondi. Mm-hmm. And we're going to see all the sculptures of the sea. Mm-hmm. You're trying to create that wonderful special moment for your clients in those events. Is there like a special Pommery way of doing that? Do you have a sort of formula that we always do this and we always do that? Or is it or is it always based on the moment?
No, it's based on what we truly believe, always. So tonight it's a contemporary art exhibition. I love contemporary art, not because it's more fashionable, because it's contemporary art. It's because in contemporary, you means alive people.
Yeah.
I would love to exhibit Van Gogh, but it's not available for a moment. So contemporary means you can meet people. Working with museums, curator, directors, artists, it's a wonderful way for opening your mind and understanding tomorrow. In my job, tomorrow is very important. If I come back to my Louise, I will bottle the harvest of 2024 in February 2025. And then we will be allowed to drink it, if everything goes well, in 2042. So, what will be your taste, your life, your pleasure of life in 2042? How many bottles will you drink? What's going to happen? Nobody knows. Nobody has the crystal ball. So, working with the artist and the curator gives you a little first door on that future. I'm not saying that it's an open door to the future, but it's a first step in the future. And that is very nice. So, when I will be there, I will be looking at the art, meeting the artist, and then we'll be able to exchange on their work with the people we are receiving. Another one will be very involved in, like Inge, she is very involved in the concours d'élégance. And then that will be another moment she is involved, that she loves this old car going with the things and the ladies wearing their hats and that incredible event. So she will bring to our clients something that she is happy to make them discover. Like always, if you are not personally involved, it doesn't work. If you are not here to receive the guest, can work also. So we are all different. That's why we can sometimes do different things. But if we are doing here contemporary art, it's because of me, I have to confess.
There you go. I love that. I'm looking forward to that event, the Concours d'Elegance, because I am as obsessed with cars as I am with boats. And it's a fabulous event. And it really does. It is, again, people with a certain passion and a certain view to life in focusing on something in particular, bringing all those people together. It's always an interesting group because they've got classic cars and they've got new cars and they've got completely different owners there. But an event like that, you remember because you see the beautiful cars.
Yes, but when you like classic car or boats, you like the way they're made. You like to see how beautiful it is. You can recognize the work on the wood. You can recognize the work on the shape of the boat. You have learned, you know what does improve in terms of hour of work to achieve to have a pieces like this or to be able to see a boat like that. And when you are linking your brand to those who have that ability to see the know-how and the work of the artisan and the work of the designer, you are in the same opening and state of mind that we are with our cuvée.
Yeah.
We are doing the same. And it's not because it's aesthetically going well one with the other. It's because when you can see the work on a boat, you can see the work in my bottle and in my cuvée. When you can see the beauty of the brands of the beginning, when you love classic car and you look at an Hispano Suiza or you look at a Bugatti, and then you can look at a brand which is 100 years old, and I'm not talking about the new one, I'm talking about the shape of the old one. Then when you're linked to that, you can remember and think that in those Bugatti, the Isadora Duncan was drinking Pommery. And it's fantastic.
Yeah. It's a memory and moment in time with some beautiful classics. Yeah. Thank you so much. This has been so lovely to talk to you. I really appreciate your time.
Pleasure.
Is there anything we can leave our listeners with from Pommery? I know they're not going to get your chocolate mousse recipe.
No, that they can't.
No.
No, there are things that you have to be very strict on, and that is not possible.
But is there something you'd like to leave the listeners with?
But that's maybe a target for you to invite me in a few years from now to see what's changed.
Let's do it.
Yes. No, I will first thank you because it was a very nice moment. And I love that freedom in those talks because you don't know where you start and you don't know where you go. And it's always very interesting to see the journey that you made. But what I would like to say is that life is enjoyable. Champagne is part of it. So please don't have any restriction.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Love it. Thank you so much, Natalie.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We hope you enjoyed that episode. And next time you have a glass of Pommery, think of Natalie and I in the Sydney Hilton having this wonderful conversation. We'll see you on the water soon. Well, it's been lovely to have you listen out there, folks. I really appreciate your ears. And if you'd like to get in contact, just follow me on Instagram at The Boat Princess and perhaps leave me a comment on today's picture of our podcast so that we can get an idea of what you thought about it. That'd be lovely. Take care and we'll see you on the water soon.